What's up, guys? Mickle here. And did the SEC already admit that XRP is not a security of Ripple? In this video, I want to show you something brand new just brought up by John Deaton that is going to show you that the SEC is so far out of line with this current case against Ripple, they may already have put out evidence themselves proving their entire case wrong. I also want to go over something pretty controversial at the end of this video. Is Ripple suppressing the price of XRP? This is something that is hotly debated both inside and outside the XRP community. I want to show you something very interesting at the end of this video that's really going to answer the question of whether or not Ripple is suppressing the price of XRP. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things are going to go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it right after a quick word from the sponsor of this video.
Void.
So I want to start out this video and go over something pretty fascinating just found by Stephen Hubert, because it's starting to look like the SEC wasn't the only government agency that gave Ethereum a regulatory free pass. What Stephen Hubert found, and it's actually shown in this video right here, I'm not going to play it, but what it is, it's the head of the CFTC at the same exact time that Bill Hinman was running around giving his Ethereum free pass speeches. It's the head of the CFTC actually pushing a very similar narrative. What he is saying in this clip is essentially that in his personal opinion, I know we have all heard that before, he doesn't think that Ethereum should be considered a security, and he sees it more as a commodity, and he also goes on to predict that large financial institutions would soon be able to issue derivatives on Ethereum. Essentially, what he is doing is going along with the same narrative that was being pushed by the SEC. Every single cryptocurrency out there might be a security, but not Ethereum. That is clearly a commodity. Now, you might be thinking, maybe this is just a coincidence, who knows why he might be pushing this same narrative, but it just so happens that this guy who is the head of the CFTC also happened to be mentored by Jay Clayton when he was at the law firm SNC, and I'm sure most of you know who we're talking about when I say that. So what we have is we have another person, another agency that look like they're tied up into the regulatory free pass for Ethereum. What this shows is that this was a whole initiative in our government to get Ethereum through the door and slam it on everyone else. This is something that was really hard to comprehend when this case was first dropped, because it simply didn't make any sense why Ethereum, a much newer technology, a much more centralized technology, was getting all this praise for its decentralization, was getting all these free passes from a regulatory standpoint, while much more advanced technologies like the XRP ledger were left in this state of ambiguity. This just further confirms that everything we're watching play out and have watched played out was a coordinated effort to try to create a monopoly in the blockchain space for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Well, unfortunately for these people, we have been all over this since day one, and people like John Deaton are not going to let this slide. Eventually, I do think the truth is going to come out here, but only because of people like John Deaton who are not going to rest. If we didn't have John Deaton fighting for us, I really do think a lot of this would have just been swept under the rug and forgotten about. But because he is so relentless, because he is not going to stop, I think a lot of this will see the light of day, and there is no way the Ethereum monopoly will be able to persist into the future. So I want to move on and show you something else just recently brought up by John Deaton that's going to make it so clear that the SEC's claims against Ripple in this current case are so overbroad they don't even make sense. John Deaton tweeted out earlier today, the SEC's claims are so stupidly outrageous that it argues a person who acquires XRP in Japan is in a common enterprise with Ripple and all other XRP holders. And XRP is a security, even though Japan's own regulator says it's not. What John Deaton is pointing out here is the SEC's case against Ripple is so overbroad, is so absurd, that they are going to places like Japan, saying the people of Japan are in a common enterprise with Ripple for buying XRP, even though Japan's own regulator has stated that is not true. The SEC did not do its homework when they brought this case. Saying that XRP itself, the token, is a security of Ripple was never gonna fly. The securities laws that the SEC was built on states that this is not how a security is defined. Think about Howie. The orange is never the security, it's the investment contract. It was how the orange was sold, but no one was ever gonna make the claim that the orange was the security. Because the SEC can't go to the Netherlands and say, oh, those oranges you have there are actually securities of this US-based company. It doesn't make any sense. Just like the SEC can't claim that the XRP in Japan is somehow a security of Ripple. It's not how securities laws work, and it just makes it even funnier that the regulator in Japan doesn't even agree with what the SEC is saying. It really just makes you understand the SEC's entire case is made out of glass, and they didn't even do the proper research before they brought this thing. And to make things even worse, and this is where it just gets crazy, take a look at this. I actually dug this up a while ago, and what you're looking at right here is something called an MOU, or a document of mutual understanding. And this document is between the SEC and the securities regulator in Japan. What this does is it makes it so these two regulators should be working together. Nothing should happen in one jurisdiction that should catch the other jurisdiction by surprise. So what this means is that the United States SEC knew that Japan was going through the process to say XRP is not a security, and they didn't say anything about it. They didn't come out and say, oh, just so everyone knows we disagree with what Japan is doing here. The SEC said nothing. The SEC let Japan go out of their way to say XRP is not a security of Ripple, and the United States left their mouth shut. This is just further proof that the entire time Ripple was building out their business, the entire time us XRP holders were buying XRP thinking that would never be declared a security, the SEC was doing everything in its power to make us think we were right, to make Ripple think they were never doing anything wrong. The SEC took all the steps to make us think that XRP would not be a security, and then dropped this lawsuit out of nowhere, and to make things even worse, the lawsuit never made any sense. This just shows you that when Judge Torres ultimately makes her final decision, the SEC is in a very bad place. They argued this case wrong from the start. They should have made specific claims on specific sales made by Ripple. They didn't do this. They went for the overbroad case, a case that never made any sense. This makes me more positive than ever that when this thing is said and done, Ripple will be on the right side of history, and this is what Brad Garlinghouse and the Ripple team have been telling us since day one. I want to finish this video off and talk about XRP price suppression. Is Ripple suppressing the price of XRP? Because a lot of Bitcoin maxis and even some people in the XRP community will come out and show charts like this. It's a chart of the XRP price going down and then a graph of essentially Ripple putting XRP onto the market. And essentially, if you don't look into things, it essentially looks like Ripple dumping XRP onto the market is making the price of XRP go down. Well, I want to show you why this data is heavily manipulated here, and it just starts with zooming into the price of XRP on way too short of an interval. What we can see right here is this chart of Ripple dumping XRP is going back to 2013 all the way until 2023. And we can see the rate at which they were dumping XRP was actually a lot faster up until 2021, 2022. Well, the chart of XRP's price this person provided only went to 21, 22. This is when Ripple was actually putting XRP on the market at the slowest rate. But take a look at XRP on the time frame from the start of when Ripple was dumping XRP. XRP is up exponentially since then. The price has skyrocketed. So what this shows is XRP can still go up thousands of percents even with Ripple putting XRP onto the market. They have nothing to do with one another, and this chart right here, this data set, is heavily manipulated. And one other thing to consider, and this is very important, this was also put out by Stephen Hubert, who is just awesome at finding stuff like this. He says one thing that disagrees with what you put out. Can't find the tweet at the moment, but thanks to Ripple's API, we can pretty much be sure that the growing circulating supply of XRP pretty much equals the growing circulating supply of Ethereum at 22% and slightly ahead of Bitcoin at 19%. What this shows you is the way in which Ripple is distributing their XRP is just like every other major cryptocurrency. The inflation or the amount that's coming into the market is right on par with all the other major layer 1 blockchains. Nothing is different. Yes, Ripple is selling that XRP as opposed to miners selling it or as opposed to staking rewards. There's really no difference. There's new supply coming onto the market, but at the end of the day, XRP's supply is capped. There's only going to be 100 billion XRP ever, and once Ripple's done selling, they're done selling forever. So what you need to understand from this, what you need to take away is Ripple's selling of XRP does not hold back the price. XRP moved when Ripple wasn't selling, XRP has gone down when Ripple was selling, it makes no difference. Ripple's going to sell their XRP, they're going to continue to sell their XRP, one day they'll be out of XRP, but until then, we need to understand, this is just the current state of blockchain, there are new coins coming onto the market, one day that won't be happening anymore, but don't get caught up in the narrative that that's holding down XRP's price because the data simply doesn't support that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, it really does mean so much, and for now, Mickle out.